Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Quest and Life Show with, of course, your host, Verona Willis-Brown. Listen, we are still celebrating International Women's Month, and we are doing a great job celebrating the ladies across the globe. If you have not celebrated a woman as of yet, this is your chance to do so. Find a sister somewhere, whether it's in your family or outside the globe, and celebrate that woman. See, without a woman, I would not have been here. Huh? Did you not know that? And without a woman, you would not be here either. So, you know what we do on Thursday? Thursday is Thanksgiving Thursday. Well, in the US, it's like one day, but no. Every Thursday, right here on the Question Live Show, it is Thanksgiving Thursday. So if you have something to give thanks for, which you should, because everyone that's watching me, listening to me right now, got something to give thanks for. So if you have something to give thanks for, of course, please take a moment, breathe in, suck it in, and let out that exhale of gratitude. Gratitude is not only an attitude, it is the best attitude. It is the attitude that you should have every single waking moment. So, yes, so welcome to this episode of the Question Live Show. Well, tonight is going to be, I won't say anything. I'm just going to be quiet. I just want to welcome you while you are coming in. Come on in. Now, listen. We do this every single time. We show up every time. If you are watching this right now, if you are watching this and you are seeing that word up there, yep, that little one, that right there, in the red rectangle, right there, it says live. If you are watching me right now and you see that word that says live, simply mean you. Yes, you are in the live audience. And if you are in the live audience, what is it that you do? I will tell you soon, because here we have rules. So before I get into that, there are rules and regulations for this show. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 3.5, maybe 4 rules. And the first one, of course, if you see live, simply mean you look for the share button somewhere and you click it and you invite someone else to come on in the room. See, live is like fresh food coming out of the oven or off the stove. And of course, you want to share fresh food. I mean, sometimes leftovers do taste good, but yeah, fresh food is better. Yes. Now, that's rule number 1. Rule number 2 is if grab yourself something to write with, whether it is a pen, a pencil, a marker, a crayon, and a piece of feather with some paint in the paint, and you write with it. Yes, you write with it. Why am I telling you that? See, when you have that writing stuff, you need something to write with, a notepad, notebook, whatever. Why am I telling you to write things down? You see, we always have thoughts rolling in our head and we want to exhale. We want to get them out of our head and write them down. Because the more you write things down, is the more it will be. It becomes reality. So we want to write things down. Exactly. Write them down, because here we drop juicy contents and golden nuggets. And you must write them down, because they go real fast. Yes. So that's rule number 2. Rule number 3. It's so simple. Grab yourself something to drink, whether it is water, wine, tea, juice, and maybe some popsicle. Whatever is it that you drink, it is okay. Put it in the comment section. What is it that you're drinking? You see, usually I have my water. And I believe in miracle, because Jesus is the best miracle worker, and he turned water into wine. So every time I have my water, I look for it to turn into wine. But hey, if you've been watching this episode, this show, you'll know something happened to my water. I won't say what it is. But tonight is very special. Tonight is a very special episode. And I decided to come with a different glass tonight. What is in my glass? Smoothie. Yes, that's what's in there. Why would you get something to drink? Because you're going to drink on my behalf. I'm going to be doing a lot of talking, and drinking is good for you. It's great hydration, especially water. Yes, so that's rule number 3. Rule number 4. If you need to use the bathroom, whether it's to the right or to the left, please go now. Yes, go to the bathroom and use the bathroom. I hope there's no line. And then you're going to come right back. Come back. Your seat is reserved right here. Just like the seat for you is reserved in life. Your name is on a section in life with your destiny on there. And that is your seat. So no one can take your seat of life unless you hand it over. We are not planning to hand over our seat of life because it is ours. We are going to claim what is ours. We are going to dominate what is ours. We're going to take over what is ours. So now if you need to use the bathroom, please go now. And for those of you who don't need to use the bathroom, sit yourself up, get your drink ready, get your pencil, get your pen ready. And if you don't have a book to write in, please use your devices. Somewhere in your devices, there's a notepad section, and that is what you should be using if you don't have a book or pencil. And you can just text to yourself if you don't have a notepad section, because we are going to drop some we are going to drop some golden nuggets here tonight, because I am telling you, you see, I got a different drink tonight. So just to let you know, if you don't need to use the bathroom, and for those who went to the bathroom, while they come back, for you sitting here, if you are ready, let me know that you are ready for tonight's episode, because we are going to go maybe in 2 different countries. I don't know. You never know where we're going to go. You know, we travel here. So if you are ready right here, please type in that you are ready. Put in the comment section right there somewhere. Type it in that you are ready, so we can roll into tonight's episode, because guess what? We got a guest tonight. I'm not going to say nothing. I'm just saying, if you are ready, then we are ready. Just type in the comment section as I welcome the guests. No, first, before we welcome the guests, let's welcome the audience. I see Yasmin. Welcome, Yasmin. Welcome. Watching from London. Hello. It is late over there, and I appreciate and celebrate you so much. This is what I'm saying. International Women's Month. Yes. Thank you so much for coming in. We have Marianne. Yes, welcome. Marianne, welcome indeed. Welcome to tonight's episode. Yes, indeed. We are going to be rolling, and tonight's guest is my sister, your sister, our queen sister, our goddess sister. Oh, I tell you, she's such a goddess. She is such a goddess. I would not give no bio. I would not read nothing. I would just allow her to introduce herself. So without further ado, let us grab our drink. Let's just take a sip into our drink, and let us sit back and welcome my beautiful sister, your sister, Sister Yvonne. Welcome. Unmute your mic.
There we go.
Hey.
Ooh, thank you so very much, my beautiful sister Verona, for having me on this beautiful, amazing show. You know what? This is our time to be more happy, to shine, to extend a hand, to extend a voice, to even give a hug to the entire world. Because guess what? We are woman. Woman the foundation of all society. Woman, the cradle of all society. Woman, the love of all society. Woman, the most beautiful thing that God created. Woman is everything that we need. There is nothing that you can talk in this life without woman. Woman, woman, woman is everything that we need. And we want to thank the Lord for the creation of woman. He created us so beautifully that when you give woman one thing, that woman takes it and multiplies it, and it becomes something to feed the entire globe.
That's
I
right.
am just so happy that you invited me here. My name is Yvonne Mundi. I am here from the United States, from America, originally from Cameroon. And I am just so happy that the world is a global village now, that we can just sit somewhere and commune together as women to celebrate this Women's International Month till the end. And so I am a full-time published author, and I am an international speaker. I am a mother. I am everything that you can think of, but I am a woman, the most important thing. I use my unique story to help others, women, children, particularly our young women who have gone through some major difficulties in life, with inspiration, direction, education, and a protective alarm, so that they can use the resources at their disposal to thrive, build generational wealth while living a life of leadership and purpose, and also helping others to do the same or even better. So thank you so much for having me, Verona. Up to you.
Well, see, I done told y'all. Hey! Listen, I told you, audience, that tonight is special. Sister Yvonne, thank you for being here. Thank you for accepting this invitation. Thank you for what you are doing out there, because, see, I celebrate us.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
I celebrate us. And I celebrate when I celebrate someone, I don't celebrate from my lips. I celebrate from my heart.
Yes. Yes.
Right here. I celebrate you in this International Women's Month. I celebrate you as a woman.
Thank you.
I celebrate as a sister.
Mm,
As a sister,
thank you.
I celebrate you. Heart to heart.
Yes, thank you.
Heart to heart.
Thank you.
Audience, we welcome Sister Yvonne. We welcome her, and you heard her just give a little bit of the things and the intention that she has. And we look so forward for all that she's doing and all that she's about to do. And I'm excited. I feel so excited within myself for you. I feel excited for the young girls that need a voice.
Yes.
I feel excited for the upcoming generations, because they need someone. And sometimes we have to be the voice for the voiceless.
Of course.
Sometimes we as big sister have to step in and just join force. Hold hands from belly to belly, from heart to heart, and let someone know, I'm here. I see you. I understand.
Mhm.
Because there's something about us women. We understand each other. We understand each other. So from my heart to your heart, and to what you intend to do, and for what you are doing already, sister, thank you is not enough. Thank you is not enough.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much. Talking about that, I cannot do it all by myself.
No.
That is why you are there as my own sister. That
Yes.
is why we have a sisterhood, a circle of sisters coming together all over the world more than ever before to
Yes.
do what we are doing. Because guess what? There is nobody who is an island upon themselves.
No.
There is no one who can do it alone. And together, with the love, the bond that exists between us, that we can just understand one another without even knowing what it is. That is such a gift. The scripture says that speak up Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves.
Yes.
Speak up for the destitute, for the homeless, the hungry. Speak up to educate people. Speak up even for the disabled, but also judge righteously. And so that is our mission, especially as us women. During this International Women's Month, it is a month to fortify, to look around to see what is it that we can come together again to do. What is it that we can edit, add, or subtract? What else? What are we doing for our families? And when we talk about women, a woman cannot exist without a man.
Right.
All
Right.
of us are included, but the
Right.
woman, we take the lead. Even when we think that we cannot do, we still stand up and keep moving and keep going ahead. So it
Yes.
is just such an uplifting spirit during, especially during this month, to know that we commune together as sisters globally to do what we've been called to do. Thank you so much.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Are you getting me more excited? Oh, you're getting me more excited. Listen, and you mentioned something just now. I told the people I come ready, and this is why I try to encourage people. Please come ready. Have your writing tools ready because I'm always ready. See, I take notes. And you mentioned something. You said this is the month where we add and subtract and we evaluate. This is the month where we're supposed to evaluate who we really are, our position on this earth, our position on this earth. Now, we don't exist without man, and man don't exist without us. Biblically, it is written that we came from a man. Therefore, we should be working together,
Yes.
right? We should be working together.
Of course, yes.
We are life bearers, but without a man, we can't be life bearers.
There you go.
Okay?
Yes, that is certainly so true. It is so true. We can just go on and on and on. It is so true. One cannot exist without the other.
No.
That is not the way the Almighty God created us to be, because that is the more reason why when God created the man, God saw that the man was lonely.
Yes.
And God, in order to look for a partner or a companion for the
Yes.
man, God had to think to do something. And he really went down into his thoughts and really, really thought about it to do what is so quintessential, what is so amazing. That how was he going to do this? To help the man to sleep for a reason.
Yes.
To go to sleep before God can extract that rib out of the man.
Yes.
And made the woman so that the woman can stand on the left hand of the man, not just because that woman is going to be something to be trampled upon, something to be disrespected, but something to cherish, because there is always some kind of glory coming out of a woman.
Yes.
But the woman cannot exist without that man being there. So we are part and parcel of the man.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
whatever the man is going to do to the woman, he want to make sure that it is something that he can do to himself. Because if you don't do it to yourself so well and you want to do it to the woman, it's going to come back to haunt the man. So we are part of the same whole. Nobody can separate. It's nature. You cannot undo that. I cannot undo it. We don't have the power to do it. We just have to accept it and move on and bring this talent, this love, this gift together and begin to create, because God created us as co-creators to create with the gift.
Absolutely.
With the intelligence that he has given us, and that is what we're supposed to be doing. And I am just so excited because meeting women like you, powerful women like you, all over the globe, with our women of the Wow Women, all over the globe, everywhere. I am just so happy. When I meet a woman, I want to say hello, and it's working. I go to the store, I just I just start talking, and we just speak right away. And we're talking about things like, oh, wow, I was just talking about this. How come you're talking about it? Because we have that connection, that biological and chemical wave that God created to bond us together, to think together, to do things like it is already there, because it is there. So it is just such a beautiful, beautiful thing to be a woman. I'm telling you.
It is a beautiful. Listen, sister, it is so beautiful that we get an entire month.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
It is so beautiful to be acknowledged as a woman that we get an entire month to just accept who we are, to
Yes.
acknowledge ourselves, to celebrate
Mhm.
another woman, to find
Mhm.
another woman across the globe. We got an entire month.
Yes.
And in the month, we got a day.
Yes. That is so beautiful because that shows that how special we are. Not just special in the human mind or
Yes,
in our eyes mind, but special in the way that we were created because
yes,
we are, and
yes,
in our mind's eye, because when you're looking at things using your eyesight, those
yes,
things are in the realm of the human. But if you're looking
yes,
at things using your mind sight, that is in the realm of the divine, and those things are the best thing for the woman. And when we say woman, for the children, for the man, for the entire family, for the entire world, woman,
yes,
woman,
yes,
that monument that God molded in special ways to bring all this greatness, this goodness to the world. This is the month and a special day to encourage, especially our daughters, the young woman out there, that you have greatness within you. You are what God created you to be. Just look for that passion inside within, deep within you, and pull it out. If you cannot pull it out, there are great women out there like Verona. There are great women out there like Linda Kamodo, like Rekha, like
Rebecca,
you name it.
Yasmin, Amina.
Yes,
Yes,
Amina. A lot of great women out there that can pull those things together, because when you take it to one woman, this woman will say, what can I do? Let me call this other woman. Let's put our heads together in
yes,
order to help. We want our daughters to rise above societal limits and
yes.
see what God has in place for them. Happy Women's Month. I am so happy for this month.
I mean, I think I've celebrated Women's Month a while, and I've been celebrating International Women's Month a while.
Mhm.
And I know in Cameroon they celebrate this for years. They've been celebrating Women's Month for a while. Because
Yes.
artists, as you can see, she's representing Cameroon and the US. So listen, she's an ambassador for I love it. So in Cameroon, they've been celebrating International Women's Month for a while.
Yes, they have
For a
been.
while.
Yes, they
It's
have
a
really
big,
been
it's a big
been,
deal.
been doing that. And one thing, I'm going to take a step back, because before we got to the point of celebrating the woman internationally,
Yes.
the woman was somehow relegated to the background to certain things and not the other. And
Yes.
because by nature, the way we all are created, we have certain rights, inalienable rights that must not be taken away from any person, whether you are a man or a woman. But for some reason, due to societal norms all over the world, not just in Cameroon, all over the world, the
Hmm.
woman is still relegated to the background. Even here in the United States,
Yes.
the woman is still very relegated to the background in terms of certain jobs. You know, they will have a lower pay as compared to the man. And so we always have to want to fight for those things. So Cameroon has been celebrating the International Women's Day and month for quite a while, because
Yes.
it had to get to the point where, because you don't want to see your daughter not excelling in the things that God has put in their heart to excel in. You
That's
don't
right.
want to see your daughter just be labeled as uh, a homekeeper, a childbearer, or just like somebody who is just there to satisfy the man, whose own feelings or whose own ambitions and dreams are relegated to the background. So now the men now began to see, you know what? I'm not happy in my home because my wife is not happy. I'm,
Right.
you
Right.
know, my children are not happy because their mother is not happy. Will
Right.
there really be any need for all of that if you're going to think that you're going to relegate the woman? And the
Right.
man sometimes works and gets tired. Imagine that you're having children. These children are going to school. They have needs.
Yes.
They have things that you need to do for them. And one income is doesn't suffice.
No.
And so
No.
we need both income. Now we try to juggle and shuffle the family schedule. Now the woman now start playing a role. And
Yes.
there comes the celebration of Women's International Month and Day. in Cameroon and now all over the world. And I'm really grateful that you and I and all the women, especially when I'm in the Wow Women, I'm just like, you know what? This is something. We are going to really leave a footprint of destiny in the
Yes.
world. And
Yes.
we have not started. We
No,
have a lot to do.
no, we got a lot. We got a far way to go.
We have a long way to go, and I don't want to die with those things in me. I want
No.
to be able to empty out myself.
Yes,
I
and
don't
go
want to carry
light.
them to the cemetery.
Go.
Like one of my mentors said, rob the cemetery because
That's it.
don't go take
Don't go
those
in there
things.
with your gifts and talents.
Yes, give everything out before you leave because that
Yes.
I'm trying to time waits for no one. You see what Mr. Ashmufara is doing? Hurrying to do things. He
That's
said,
fast. Grow up
he said,
fast. Grow up fast.
yes, he said on Tuesday, he said, you know what? Oh, something happened. I am so successful now. I did everything for the company. I handed it where it's supposed to be because even if I die now, you guys are
You're
in
all
good hands. I
right.
said, nope, you're not going anywhere because we are not yet done. We're not yet done. So that is the kind of fire, the kind of
Yes.
spirit we all should have. What can I do? And we have to pass all those pettiness and all those things and say, oh, she did me
Competition.
this. Oh, she did. Those things don't matter. Those
No.
things make us grow. Those are the things that make us grow because nobody grows without fighting. Where there's no fight, be sure that that thing is going to come crashing down. There
Yes.
has to be those very nice fights that we can keep growing and growing and growing. So I'm just so happy with this.
And we got to come to a point, women, we got to come to a point where we stop competing.
Yes.
We stop competing and we stop making comparison. We stop saying, "Oh, sister Ivan got a house. I want to have a bigger house. Sister Ivan got a car. I want to have a bigger car. Sister Ivan got two. I want to have three." Let us stop comparing ourselves to each other. You are uniquely cut out. You are uniquely built, and you are uniquely given your gifts and your talents. You are unique. So
That
why
is
should I
so
want to
true.
compare myself with Sister Yvonne? Why should I want to compare myself with Sister Georgia? Why should I want to compare myself with Sister Yasmin? Why should I want to do that? I want me. And my whole intention, like you just said, I don't want to go to my grave with anything.
Yes.
If I should close my eyes right now, I want to be so empty that they're like, "Oh Lord, she just flew off out of here."
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
I want to go to the point where I said, listen, no, anything inside of me that's going to make you better, I'm going to get it out.
Yep.
Because the
Certainly
whole
true.
point here is for us to support each other, is for us to grow together, is for us to build together. Because if we don't do that, the earth is not going to be replenished.
Yep. Yep.
Humanity is not going to be lifted up. So we have to come together because if we state this over and over that we are life bearers,
Mm-hmm.
if we keep on stating this, but yet we are competing,
Mm-hmm.
yet we are making comparison, what happened to the life that we are bearing?
Yep. I'm just so grateful that you brought that point of comparison up because I was going to bring it on later. And
Yes.
comparison kills. They are dream killers. They kill
Yes.
dreams.
Yes.
Because really, the only person that we should be comparing ourselves with is ourselves and nobody else.
There
You
you
know,
go.
and comparing in the sense that you want to be able to give accountability of what you're doing, no
Yes.
matter what. Because there is if you're gonna waste your time, your knowledge and your energy comparing with
Yes.
somebody else when you can actually ask a question and learn from that person. And even so, you straying away from your own unique gift
Yes.
and
Yes.
focusing on somebody else's gift when that person is nurturing and watering her own gift and you leave your own because we all have unique gifts whether we like it or not. And I know that sometimes it's difficult for people to bring out those gifts depending on their background and how they were orientated and how they were raised. It becomes difficult, but we are here. Women, they're all over the world. We can come together to just carry a simple conversation and we figure
Yes.
out what is it that God has actually given you.
Yes.
What is it that you've been gifted? For me, I know it's my voice and my pen. I know it's cooking and feeding people. That
Yes.
I know is to try to roof the homes of people who are unable to roof their own homes. Because I became the very first female child in my little village of less than 100 people in more than a decade with a bachelor's degree. That
Oh,
was a big deal. It's still a big deal.
it's still a
These
big deal.
These kids, they depend on me. These parents, they depended on me because people who did not know how to read and write, they came together to educate me. So
There
why would I not do so happy to just do it? And now, guess what? We have been gifted with unpassive.
you go.
We have been gifted with unpassive. We're not going to be selfish and be hoarding things. Let me get 10 houses. Can you live in 10 houses at the
Why
same
would
time?
you want to do that?
Do you want to pile all those money in your bank account and tomorrow you die and leave it there? Why do you want to do that? Do you want to get this car, get this one? What about the other person?
There
What
you go.
about a family member?
There
What
you go.
about the other person across the globe that they don't have food to eat? They don't even have a home to live in. Why can't we come together and build communities for maybe single mothers who
Yes.
cannot do it for themselves?
Yes.
So it's a lot of things that we can do. We've been given. The scripture says, to him or her that has been given so much
What
more
is
is
required?
required. Me
Yes.
and you,
Yes.
Sister Verona, we've been
Yes.
given a lot. We
Yes.
cannot complain. If we
No.
complain, God is going to get mad at us, and I don't want God to get mad at me.
No.
I'm not going to complain. We've
No.
been given. We are brand ambassadors of Unpassive. That
Yes.
is Mr. Ash Mufara's dream for
Yes.
us. His gift, now he takes the vision and the mission and gave it to us. We now, it's left to us to expand that in the whole world. And I know, knowing the woman that you are, knowing the women that I've met from this journey of Unpassive, we're going to be doing amazing things, because I know that you're there to say, no, Yvonne, I think we should do it this way. And I'm there to say, no, Verona, I think we should go this way. This is a better way. I already have this. I had 2 pairs of clothing when I was growing up. I will go to the stream, wash it and dry it, and then wear it. Have one for church. And that was it now. I can afford to change shoes, clothes. And while some other person don't have, oh no, we're not going to do that, because I will be behind you guys with my mouth. I said, no, we're not doing that. We're going to do the right thing.
No.
It is so wonderful that women, let us stop comparing ourselves and competing. It does not help. When you do that subconsciously, your children are taking it.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow, those children start behaving like that, and you'll be like, oh, this child, this is not the way I trained
what
him.
happened?
Oh, no, what happened? When you know exactly what happened. Yes. Because children are impressionable. Whatever we do, consciously or subconsciously, they take it. And I don't want my child to take anything that is not right.
No,
and that's why my children, I expose them, communicate with them. I said, hold me accountable. And they're holding me accountable, because sometimes we fall short, because we are humans, right?
Yes.
So we have to be willing to accept those corrections. Women, we are tired. Most women all over the globe are tired of comparing and competing. And that is why women are now coming together more than ever before.
Yes.
To do for one another. And when we do for one another, we're doing for our family, we're doing for the global economy. Thank you so much for bringing that point of comparison and competition. Not healthy.
No.
Not healthy.
No. A very unhealthy mindset.
Yes.
Very unhealthy. Very unhealthy mindset, because everything starts in the mind. And the minute I look at it, I'm like, oh, I should get more than what Sister Yvonne has. Oh, look what Sister Yvonne had. And I start saying, look, no, I don't want to do that. I want to look how can I improve myself?
There you go.
Because when I improve myself, guess what's going to happen? The thing that I'm going to share with you is going to be better than what I had yesterday.
Yes, yes. That's true.
It's going to be better. It's going to be better, because when we focus on self-development, we can develop somebody else.
Yes.
We can help develop the sister over there. We can help develop the brother over there. We can help develop the entire earth.
Yes, of course.
But no, we need to cut this out and stop comparing and say, oh, well, she have that. I should get this because mine going to be bigger. No, because at the end of the day, Sister Yvonne, you can't be me.
No, never. It wasn't meant to be.
It wasn't meant to be, because no matter if we're triplet, 2, 4, 5, it doesn't matter. Everybody got their own unique DNA.
Yes, yes.
How can you try to be me?
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. Listen, I try to keep up on my own. I'm trying to keep up on being Verona. So for me to try to be somebody else, that's a lot of work, and I'm trying not to do a lot of work.
No, a lot of work, a lot of anxiety, a lot of unnecessary thing. At the end of the day, you get exhausted and you slump. Oh, tired,
I am so
tired.
tired. You're tired because you're trying to be somebody else.
I know. We don't need that. It came to the point, and I thank God for my grandmother and my mother, the way they
Yes,
raised
I want
us.
to go into that. I want to go into your yes. So go ahead, because yes.
Yes, I thank God for my mother. My mother lives with me. I take care of her. My grandmother is watching us from heaven. Because I have this, I have to show you.
Mm-hmm.
I have this. This is a traditional mantle, a blessing. They will dictate to you the next child that has to take it to the next subsequent generation from a very
Mm-hmm.
young age. I was dictated at the age of 2 that I will be the mantle bearer of our family
Yeah.
to the next generation. And I've also dictated the next person already.
All
And
right.
this thing, there is something in here, it doesn't deplete. It never. No matter how you use it, it never. What is it? I'm going to say it, but I need to be careful because certain things you don't say it in English. But this is a mantle of blessing, of fecundity, of abundance, of health, of wealth, of children, of anything that you can think good that God created us with. And it's something that you can eat because it's food. Because
Mm-hmm.
without food, me and you cannot be sitting here or
Right.
standing here and be talking. So this thing my grandmother blessed me with, it was just, my grandfather is a king, and
Yes.
my grandfather's compound, there has never been any point in time where there are no people in that compound. Never. So one the day that this thing was going to be done on me, the whole compound was empty. I don't know what happened. It was empty. So my grandmother, before this time, I had prepared, said, prepare yourself. Because I used to write a lot, pick pieces of paper. When I write, people beat me up and throw it away and say, why are you always writing, reading and writing, And my grandmother said, make sure you put everything in your head.
All right.
Write 2 copies and bring for the mantle, but put everything in your head so that when they destroy it, it's still in
You
your
stay in
head.
your head.
So 2 weeks, everything was in my head, and everything is still with me now because that is what comes from within you. you
Yes.
know. So
Yes.
now they prepared the mantle and everything, blessed me, washed me naked, and they did something that I had to run with fire, run, run, run. Then when the signal comes, I come back. My grandmother buried one list of the thing with the mantle, buried the other one, and one corner of her home and said, if you leave from here and go, and I want you to leave from this village because you're a woman. The
Yes.
way God created you, if you don't leave, they're not going to let you leave here because
Mm-hmm.
you the one that questions everything. You want to know more. You want to do.
Yes. You're too inquisitive.
Yes, you're too inquisitive. They're gonna. So now she did that and blessed me and asked me to take this mantle to women and children of the world, for everybody, but focus on women and children. Why
Yes.
women and children? Because women and children are the most vulnerable in society, in every society all over the world. And
Yes.
so I've been carrying this thing with me all the time. You'll be surprised. You see, people who are not like me, color doesn't matter, but we are
No.
different. They will just come and say, just kneel down. And this thing, you can use water or your saliva. They will kneel down. Even in church, I say, bless me. I start to cry. I say, oh Lord. I say, and the day I will meet you, I'll do the same. I will meet Ashmufan, I'll do the same. It
Yes.
is something to take to the wall because it works. My grandmother did it, it works. My grandmother was this petite woman that said, I was never educated,
Mm-hmm.
but she was educated in a language called Mungaka.
Uh-huh.
Said, you will be my eyes and my ears out there. I can see well because I was not sent to a formal education.
Mm.
I cannot hear well. You will hear for me, you will hear for your mother, you will hear for your brothers, you will hear for the entire world, but do never forget where you come from. You
There
come
you
from
go.
this village.
There you go.
Don't forget where you come from. The
Yes.
people of this village, they're looking up to you, and they
Yes.
are. And I have that responsibility. A 911 call on my life to help those people and the global economy before I ever exit the stage of life. And I'm sure you do too, because
Yes.
we have to do this together.
Yes. I like this. Emergency, the 911 call.
Yes.
I like that. I like that. And I've been using that same term, like this is an emergency. It's an emergency. Yes.
Yes.
And we have sometimes we have to set ourselves into this position that when it's an emergency, we have to rush with it. We have to go with it. We have to go with our force. And this is going to take me to one of the questions I want to ask you. What are some how has religion affected you growing up? How has religion affected your home?
Okay.
Because you mentioned
Um,
you're from Cameroon, of course. We all see that she's from Cameroon. She's representing Cameroon and
yes,
the village.
religion has affected me a lot, but I will talk about religion in terms of my African spirituality
Yes, yes,
because God created all the kinds of religions for a reason. And no one is supposed to impose their religion on anyone,
no,
no matter what, because when you do that, you're destroying that person, you're destroying the culture that God created. But we can commune, we can come together and to
yes,
pray and to worship together. So I talk so much about African spirituality. And even though I was born with the Christian religion brought by the Europeans to Africa, Cameroon was one of them, but I still do what my parents teach me, which is still the same thing, because we all resonated from one and the same God. No
yes,
matter how you pray, no matter who you pass through, but we all came from the same God. So religion is a very big deal. Sunday, it was like a taboo. You have to go to church, whether you like it or not. You got to go to church. And even if it means my parents have to drug you and take you to church, that's where
so
you're
you're gonna
going.
go. You're
And
gonna go.
and it helps a big deal. That taught me a lot to know that, you know what, people are different, and that you will need to help. Some people don't have what you have, and what you have, share with others. Ash Mufara talked last Tuesday during our international free last O Connect that if somebody offers you a good meal, won't you want to share that meal with another person?
Absolutely.
Okay. But we say yes, we will share. Are you really going to share? It's not just food, talking about eating food. It's talking about the words that come out of your mouth. It's talking
Absolutely.
about what you take through your ears. It's talking about seeing somebody pooping on themselves. You don't laugh at that person. You go immediately and trying to help that person. It's about curbing your hands. When a child goes to a dentist and all of a sudden they start throwing up, you curb your hands and let that child throw in. It's about doing a lot of good things for humanity, regardless, no
Yeah.
matter who and what you are. Because at the end of the day, Verona, all the wealth, the money, the skyscrapers and everything that we have, they are reduced to nothing, because when you go to the grave, me and you have the same identity. Nobody's gonna tell who is
Yeah.
who or who
Yeah.
is not who.
You're right.
Nobody's gonna tell. Steve Jobs said it. Steve Jobs said, you know, the most expensive bed in this life is the sick bed.
Mm.
When you're there, you begin to think, because he was thinking all through his life, was fighting to accumulate all this wealth, not spending enough time with the wife or the children, just to accumulate all this. But what happened? Sickness caught him, and he was confessing in the hospital and said, don't ever do that.
Yeah.
Focus on yourself, your family, your
Yes.
children. And so it's so religion is a very important thing. And religion is basically doing good.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
not reading the Bible a million times and not doing
Right.
good.
Right.
Not
Right.
saying I am this, but then your actions are telling something else. It is
Right.
actually doing good for others, beginning with your own self, your character, the
Service
content
each
of your
other.
character, your attitude. That is religion. And religion starts in your family. Your family, our families are the first religion. We cannot go to church and pretend to be so pious and walking gently, but then behind the scene, it is something else. That's not what religion is all about. So religion is so important because we volunteered. I started volunteering at a very young age when I was 8 at the missions hospital in Cameroon, because my mom's auntie, who is of late now, was born with profound mental and physical disability. We were
Mm.
taught to take care of her because we believe that people heal quickly, and it is true naturally when they stay with their
When this is
families.
support. Yes. When you have
Yes,
support.
when you
Mhm.
have support, especially family support. And
Yes.
so when
Yes.
it was too much for us, we'll take her to the mission hospital. We will go there and still be helping her. Then she comes home. So it is so important. It's all about support and supporting with love,
Yes. Yes.
supporting with these flowers that comes only from your heart, not
Yes.
just from your mouth. Sometimes supporting in silence, and don't even let somebody even know that you're doing it. Just do it, because guess what? I have experienced the goodness of God in my life a lot.
Yes.
Coming from a point where I was forced into marriage at the age of 11, and with the grandmother fighting for me to go to school. And up to this time, the kids, the young girls that were going through the same thing like me, they are no more. And who am I? It means I cheated death. And
Hey,
because I cheated death, it's for a reason I will work for the rest of my life supporting all the children in the world with a focus on the young woman.
and you just touched this point because I think that's where I wanted to get to the next question for you. What was the biggest challenge? But you just mentioned it at the age of 11. Now, audience, I need for you to pay attention to our sister here. At the age of 11, you got forced into marriage.
Yes.
Now, we're gonna pause right there. We're gonna put a tack right there. I read this maybe last month. A little girl got forced into marriage. She probably was 12.
Mhm.
Got forced into marriage to marry to a man that's 55 years old. In the night of her marriage, the night, she died.
Oh,
So that's why I told her to pause for a second because I wanted to
oh,
just recap that story. She died. And I wish I had that article to put up. She died in the night of her marriage. Now, why did she die? Because of the intimacy that transpired the night at her marriage. Now, if you think of a child that's 11, because I'm coming back to you,
mhm.
11, and now here's the child that's 12. You're in the same, you're right there. You're still the same. You're still the
Of
same
course.
baby.
Of course, of course. You know, this is so touching to my heart because this is
Yes.
something that is so dear to my heart. And this is something that I spoke in France about child marriage and education. You
Yes, talk
know,
to us.
um, it is just, I really want everyone, but particularly our young girls and their parents, to really hear the mother, because the mother is the cradle of every home. The mother needs to watch their children. The mother needs to do the best thing. And you know, it stems from some of it stems from cultures that are written for the man against the woman. And then
Yes.
secondly, it stems from slavery colonialism. You know, in Cameroon, um, and all over the world, much importance is placed on the male child more than the female child. And it certainly was like that in my family. And so when colonialism started, when you have like these superpowers taking hold of Africa. Africa is the richest continent on the surface of the earth,
Right.
but Africa remains poor. And I say it openly because that is the truth.
It is
Africa
what it is.
remains poor.
Yes.
They supply 68% or more of the global resources. They feed the entire globe. Humanity originated from Africa.
Yes.
And in order for this country to continue to exploit Africa, they want to make sure that Africa remains poor. We are in a situation where they are projecting these pictures on the screen all over the world to see, Africa is suffering. See, they're suffering. But we have glory in Africa. We have goodness in Africa. We have beautiful cities in Africa that are
Yes.
sometimes more than in the United States. We
Yes.
have beggars on the streets of the United States that they don't share, they don't show, but they go to Africa illegally and take pictures and want to make money off our backs. And
Yes.
so when colonialism came, it stifles the governments of most African countries, tie their hands to their backs, give them all these loans that they cannot pay. What happened? Now, in order to meet up with all of these colonial demands, they now started taxing farmer. My father owned a cocoa and coffee plantation. They now
Mhm.
start taxing those people. If you have a store, they tax you more. And what happened? They don't have enough money to sponsor their own children. Now that much importance is placed on the male child because they believe that the male child has to be the successor, the next of kings.
Yes.
You, the female child, is the one that they will give in marriage. And so that happened to me. It happened to me at the age of 11.
11.
You know, at the age of 11, I was, it was already prearranged that I was going to marry to a 38-year-old man.
Oi.
Yes. And so I did not know. My father said, "You're going to live with those people." It's a father, right? You're going to respect your father. I said,
Yes.
yes. I said, yes. They actually, me and my older sisters, they
Yes.
actually took us there and they left me there. And I like to eat meat. This man owned cows, and I'll be eating the meat. I did not know. So I came back home, and thank God that they were not even doing sleeping with me or anything. So when my grandmother heard it, my grandmother came back from the farm, threw the basket of food, and ran to my father. And my father has been calling her to come so that he can discuss the marriage thing. And my grandmother didn't have time. But when she heard that, she rushed to my father's compound and said, "Well, you were calling me. I didn't have time. Now I'm here."
Uh-huh.
She was prepared, very prepared. This petite woman like this, shorter than me. I know, but very smart woman. One of the most wise women. My number one mentor in the world was my grandmother.
Yes.
Said, "Oh, I want Mundi to go and marry to this." I say, "Marry for what? How old is Mundi? You leave your older children because you took away my daughter's husband. That's my mom. My
Mm-hmm.
mom's husband was killed by the person who raped my mom at the age of 17 and impregnated my mom with me.
Oh.
And my mom was breastfeeding my sisters, whom I didn't even get the opportunity to meet. They were my twin sisters
Oh,
before.
you are a twin?
No, my twin
Oh,
sisters
oh,
passed.
okay.
They passed. So I am the sibling, the
Okay.
younger one to those ones. And so a lot of things happened. But my grandmother said, no, no. I was given away in marriage at the age of 9. I grew up with my husband before even realizing I was her husband. But she lived a fabulous life. And then my mother given away at the age of 15. And now my granddaughter, no,
No. Cut
it's
it.
not going to
Somebody gotta
happen.
stop
It's
it.
not going to happen. And so that is when my grandmother was bent. I was banned from visiting my grandmother because of that. Now my father sent me into the bush. The bush became my home. Because I
Mm.
refused to marry, the bush became my home. I was sleeping among animals, but the mothers and some fathers of the village, they would still till come and drop food on plantain leaves for me to eat. And
Hey.
while in that bush, Verona, I would tell you, I don't know why, for some reason, I was not afraid. I was not afraid of the
Yeah,
bush.
you were guided.
Certain things began to come into my mind.
Yes.
And I knew exactly where to meet my grandmother. There were different spots in the bush where my grandmother would come there to counsel me, to teach me, and to do things with me.
Yes.
And and in the afternoon, I would hear the kids coming back from school with joy, and they knew what was going on. I would just stealthily walk towards the road, and I would beckon them to come into the bush and to teach me. And they were coming. And next time, I didn't even have to call. They would just sneak into the
It
bush,
was
and they were
sneaking.
teaching me. They were teaching me. But then one day, I asked my mom, I said, "Mama, how come I can't go to school like the other children? I want to go to school. I want an education." My mom said, "No, your father will kill us." But then the parents of the village, they came together. They enrolled me in school. I started doing marketing very young to raise that money for school. They came together, they educated me.
Had to
And
learn survival of the fittest.
yes, at secondary school, I was still hungry for more education. They sent me to high school. High school, I was still hungry. I wanted to walk like the educated. I wanted to talk like the educated. Sometimes you're going to hear me pronounce things that don't require th, like because
Yes.
I thought the educated were talking at the tip of their tongue, so I wanted to talk like them. And so it became that way. But God was on my side
Yes.
because of the prayers of my grandmother, my mom, and my ancestors. I went to university. And after university, I was married. Well, but when I married and got into the United States, the marriage was not what I thought it was.
There you
And I said, "You know what? I'm not going to take that anymore. So, but I'm here for some reason. But to to bring you to this point, what
go.
happened was one day, from the only TV show that I ever watched in my life, from the only TV owner in our village who used generator. There was no electricity. These kids coming back from school, they told me, "Oh, we're going to watch a show at the TV owner's home. Do you want to come?" Oh, I went. I didn't care. I went. I watched it. This talked about freedom and success in the United States of America. I said, really? I said, I'm going to walk to the United States. I'm going to the United States. And I
Yes.
thought I was actually going to walk
Right,
to
right,
go to the United States.
right.
And they beat me. Who do you think your mother is poor? You can't go there. I said, I'm
Yes,
walking, I'm going there. I was so obsessed that I almost became mentally sick. But
yes,
my grandmother one day took me outside, blessed me, and said, do you see that bird flying in the sky?
yeah.
I said, yes, Grandma. That bird is going to take you to the United States of America.
Oh,
And I believed her. And I thought it was actually the physical bird. I didn't know that it was the aircraft. And I believed her. Till today, I believe my grandmother. And for some reason, I know that the journey that I've taken throughout life, it's
yeah,
God's way of taking me to where I'm supposed to be so that I can, from this point of freedom of speech in writing, I
yeah,
can then begin to advocate for children all over the world. The little girl in the village that was also in the same situation like me, that my mom wanted to adopt, died, and I'm the only one who survived. I have a lot. That's why I say there's a 911 call on my life to
yes,
really help all the children, particularly young girls,
yes,
young women in the world. They have to be leaders. They have to get into IT, engineering. They have to get to be young entrepreneurs. We need
yes,
to nurture
yes,
and mold
yes,
these. That's my story. That's
yes,
my unique story.
yes. And I celebrate you because when you have a testimony like this, it is a sign of strength and courage and boldness.
Thank
And
you.
this is what happened when we have these young children, these young girls in particular growing up. We want to pour into them courage,
Yes.
right? We
Yes.
want to pour into them wisdom. We want to pour into them strength. We want to pour into them to let them know, listen, you don't got to settle. You don't have to settle. You can create a legacy in a world that is waiting for you.
Mhm.
There's a big world waiting for you. Do not limit yourself to this. And it is so sad that parents, mothers, and culture are doing this thing because it is an act of survival for them. Because
Mhm.
somewhere they trade their daughters for monetary gifts.
Mhm.
They trade their children to survive.
Yes.
And it's got to come to a point now where all of that corruption got to stop, where you're trading off your seed,
Yes.
your common seed from your womb to survive, to
Yes.
protect you, to provide for your family. At age 11, I should not be trading my child so we can survive.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
now I am putting my child at risk for what? For the sake of the family? So in cases like that, I call those sacrifice,
Yes. Of course.
right? I
Mhm.
call those sacrifice because you're sacrificing your seed for your family.
Mhm.
And it got to come to a point where it has to stop. Because we got to come to a point where we say enough is enough.
Yep.
Enough is enough. Our children were created to grow into an environment that is safe for them. They were created to go into an environment where they can flourish, where
Mhm.
they can expand, where they can excel. We were not created to be sold out, and our children should not be sold because we are not
Certainly.
properties.
Yes, they are not. They are not. And
Not
when you
properties.
talk about it, there's a lot to be done. Even right here in the United States, a lot of the government, and I'm really sorry to say that because I studied the history of the world because I wanted to know why is it that things are going the way they are going.
Right.
See, right here in the United States, the highest sex trafficking in the world is right here in the United States. It's right here, but they're not talking about it. You see these very young girls, 11, 12, 15. They are sleeping with all these grandfathers. And it's the same thing too in Cameroon. When I went home last time, I went to visit my cousin at the market place. I saw this very old man coming along with this very young child. And I thought it was a granddaughter. All of a sudden, they were kissing. My sister, I
Oh,
almost threw up. I said, Lord, help me. I was crying. And then my cousin was laughing at me because that's what they're
that's
used to.
normal.
It's normal. I say, oh Lord, what is all this? I was born in that society, but I was a late starter in life because the way my grandmother raised me, my grandmother was raising me and my mother at the same time, because my mother was a teenage mother, and my grandmother said, no, do not sleep with any man. It's not going to help you. Wait until you're married and you're fully developed. You know that my grandmother was only one of the lucky ones that survived, because when a young girl is married before they fully develop, before they fully get to 18 and more, they always later on in life develop what is called obstetric fistulas.
Yes.
Obstetric fistulas is a kind of cancer that that ravages the body of a young girl that started having babies without being fully developed.
Mm.
And so what happens is, when now you have those babies, when you develop this obstetric fistula, you start to smell the odor that comes out of you. You cannot be in a place, environment with others. They start to say, oh, you smell this. And you don't even know what to do. You don't even know what is going on. And
Mm.
for instance, in a place where people are just trying to survive, to eat, they don't have those resources, those
Right.
financial resources to go to the hospital, even find out what is going on. A lot of time they end up dying, still leaving those children very young. And those children, those, especially the female children, they are raped. And that circle of poverty and abuse continues. This
Yes.
is what I am so passionate about this thing, because we need to. Women can change this situation.
Yes.
Now there is sex trafficking in the United States, but here, hey, look over there to Africa. Hey, look over there and see what is happening. The media is the number one tool to try to portray the good and the bad in the world. And when you abuse people psychologically for years, what they see is that abuse, what they know is that abuse. In turn, they turn to do it to their own. And we need to start changing the mindset
Yes.
of our people, our children in particular, to know that you have value. You have self-worth. You don't have to look to the Hollywood person that says, look at me. This is the way you're supposed to be. This is the
Right.
way you're supposed to eat, creating an eating disorder. No, you don't have to look at me and say, oh, I want to be like you are. You are only 15 or you are 18. I want to be like Sister Yvonne. Or I want to be like Sister Verona. You don't know how long it took us to get here.
Get here.
Everything in
Exactly.
life is a process. It
Yes.
takes a process.
Yes.
Look at Unpassive. It's
Yes.
almost 5 years. Do you think it even began 5 years ago? It began long before that
There
five
you go.
years.
Absolutely.
They were
Absolutely.
building that foundation before then. And we need to make sure we are teaching our children that everything takes a
Take the
process, and
process.
from cradle, from the
Yes.
womb. Because
Yes.
the child listens to you, they know you when you're talking, they know you what you're eating in your mouth, but right there in the womb, they're copying those things right there. We need to start. What are we telling our children? Why our unborn babies in the womb? What are we
Yes.
eating? What are we listening to? They are
Yes.
taking it. We, the mothers, need to be careful. My grandmother said, you need to be careful who you surround yourself with, especially when you're pregnant. You need to start telling God what you want for your child. Mommy, I'm telling you, those children
Absolutely.
will come out exactly what you're telling them. My son is an example in place. Because of my background, I was bent to have children that will go according to the way God wants us to be. And
Right.
by the
Yeah.
grace of God, I'm so grateful. But me and you are here. We can change the world. We can do this. We can do it.
It can be done. It
Yes.
absolutely can be done.
Together we can do this. We start traveling the world, go to communities, empower these young women, all of them. Because if you empower the young woman without empowering the young man, in the future, somehow they'll come together. They will still meet, and they
Yes.
still need that empowerment, educating them to know that, you know what, you are something. No matter who tells you what, no matter your history, you can become something. So this is the confusion in the world now. The world is in a state of confusion. Yvonne, you were very smart from. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Georgia. Thank you. We all are smart because we are here for one another. I can afford to talk like this because Verona is there. She's a smart woman. If she wasn't there posing the kind of question that she's posing to me, I would not be able to talk this way. So together, we can do this.
Yes. Yes,
She
we
is a
can.
powerhouse. together we can be powerhouses, and we go around the world and do this. We need to change this world. Won't you be happy when you exit the stage of life knowing that your children are happy, or the child next door is happy, or the child overseas is happy? Wouldn't we be happy doing that? And nothing
Exactly.
can stop us.
No.
With unpassive, oh woman, nothing can stop us. We need to elevate women to the plateau where God created them to be.
And the
Because
thing is, I always say that because we were so I call it program, and
Mhm.
we were so taught on certain things traditionally, culturally, whatever, spiritually, all of that. And it is time for us to get to this point where we are going to help another woman. We got to relearn some
yes,
things.
yes, yes,
Huh?
yes, yes.
We got to relearn some things,
Mhm.
some very things that we were taught. We got to relearn to learn the new way of doing things.
There you go.
For us to get to our babies, our children, our youths, the woman in the village that has nothing,
Mm.
the woman that's in the other village that says, I have to sacrifice my child
You're just
for
pulling
my
tears
son.
out of my eyes. Oh my God.
For the woman that sit on the edge of her bed saying, I don't have food for my child.
Mhm.
For the woman right now that's saying, I did not eat all day, but
Yes.
I have to sacrifice one of my children. For that woman right now,
Yep.
we have to relearn some
We
things.
need to, we need to. And this time around, being the way the world is, the way we've been so changed, pre-programmed psychologically, we have
Mhm.
to work new strategies of changing situations
Yes,
like this. When we give them food today, tomorrow, 3 days, so they can gather that strength. But now we have to put resources, a system in place where we can teach them to also begin to look for that food
yes,
themselves, so they don't run out and depend again on somebody.
yes,
Because especially in this economy, I say it, global economy, certain economies, they pre-program certain people to depend on the government. When they pre-program you to depend on the government, giving you free things, what they're doing is they're destroying you. They want you to depend on them so they can pull your strings anyhow they want and release it a little bit and pull them back again. So you cannot
yes.
even be
Because it's
independent.
controlling you.
Yes, controlling you. You cannot be independent to educate yourself, to educate your children. Your children will grow up to be just like you or even worse. We need to begin to know that, training our children from cradle to know that you're not only going to use the dishwasher, you can do those dishes by hand too.
Yes,
We're doing gardening. We're doing
yes,
farming. We plugging the weeds, because if
yes,
you plant something, you don't plug the weeds. Guess what? The obnoxious weed will come and choke your plants up, and nothing will grow. Children need to learn to be independent and do things for themselves. Begin to buy these piggy banks. Tell your child, teach
how to
them a
save
dollar.
it.
How do you use a
Yes,
dollar? You
yes,
take a dollar, like I teach my son, a dollar from cradle. You take a dollar, you divide it into three parts. You divide it 10%, you can pull charity, give it to somebody who doesn't have.
there you go.
You must not only give it to the church. Charity means you can go and give it to somebody else.
Stay that
Not
one
the church,
again.
how the church tells you,
Right.
because the Bible has been rewritten, written in the way that it's not good. You
Say
can
it
go
again.
buy food for somebody, not just giving it to the church, because you don't know
No.
what they're doing with it. And then
True.
you take 20%. 20%, you save it. You save it, beginning from very little. 70% you can pay for your phone, or you buy toilet paper, or you help buy a gallon of milk for the home,
Yes,
so that you don't depend on another person. And
yes,
I am going to be creating courses that we all will create those courses and be
yes,
teaching these children practical example, not
yes.
sitting in the classroom and they fool you to be reading history. Oh, what is the highest mountain in the world? Kilimanjaro. What reason? While they are busy doing technology and engineering, you are learning about somebody else's culture and reading
There you
about them
go.
instead of doing your own. Uh-uh.
Yes.
We need to open the head of our children, and we do that. Classroom education
That's not
is not the
enough.
end. It's not
It's not
enough.
enough.
The things that they're supposed to teach our children or us, they never taught us. If my grandmother was not there, I would not know. The things that they will grow up in life, the educational system has been so monopolized by the government because they lobby for those things, and they're not teaching the right thing. And they don't even have that enough time. The teachers don't have enough time.
No.
It's my
And
responsibility
first of
and your
all,
own.
First of all, Sister Yvonne, they're teaching without passion.
Yes.
Passion makes a difference because
Yes.
when you are a teacher, you should go in there not for the money that you are going to get, but you must go in there with extra passion to know that you are imprinting something on a child. Because
Yes.
the thing is, if you get one, this is my slogan: if I inspire one person,
Mhm.
I'm successful.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
If I inspire one, just give me one person,
Mhm.
then I am successful.
We're gonna do more than one.
So right now my heart is expanded. My heart is so overwhelmed, my heart is so full because there's so many people
We're
waiting.
gonna do it. We just have to come together because one brain cannot figure out the system that we can put in place and do those things. One brain cannot figure it out.
No.
Me and you are carrying out this conversation because we are two brains. If you were not there to pull out these things from within me, I would not be able to talk.
There you
I would
go.
not be able to talk. And if I was not there to even talk, you would not be able to pick on some of those keywords to really bring them out. You talk
Yes.
about comparison,
Yes.
competition. You see, this is what coming together as one brings to the
Yes.
surface. Because when we empower that one child, just imagine that if we put two heads together,
There
then
you
put
go.
10, then put how many women are there in the
There you
world?
go.
We come together, not
Yes.
trying to say, oh, look at me here. I am a doctor. Call me
Yeah.
this, or you have to
You gotta
listen to
call me
me.
by title.
It's not,
Titles.
you know what? It's not, I am going to be a doctor here this month. I'm going to graduate. But that doctor is not, that's a title. And
That's a
titles
title.
are limitations.
Yes,
They
that's a
don't do
title.
anything. Put that thing there and take that thing off the wall and put something productive on the wall that people will come and see. You
Yes.
know, pull those fake Jesus Christs that they put in the homes in Africa, say you pray to them, pull
Yes.
them off the wall. You know what?
Yes.
I go home, they
Put up
say,
an
get in.
affirmation. Put up an affirmation on your
Yes,
wall.
yes,
Teach your children
that I
affirmation.
can do this. I
I can do
believe
this.
in me. I
I
am
am
beautiful.
this.
I was created in a wonderful way. I wake up with wonder and see the greatness that God has
Yes.
for me. And you keep putting little action every day.
Yes.
And you do the right thing. Don't cheat. Don't cut corners because it doesn't work that way. It will come crashing if we cut corners. So it is a powerful thing that I'm so grateful that I get to know powerful women like you because I know that we will do more. Let us take the gift that God has given us through Mr. Ashmofari, setting aside bickering, setting aside wanting to be seen.
Yes.
Nobody needs to see you.
No.
God alone has to see you.
There
You
you
see
go.
yourself for what you're doing. You as seeing you, you earn it. You do the work without talking about it, without making a fuss about it. Just do it and leave it to God to judge you. Before you know, you'll be elevated onto a platter. I'm not that perfect. I'm not a perfect human being. But the way my grandmother and my mother, they taught me, that is how I've been operating. Focusing on others, because if you ask me now, say I'm the richest woman on the surface of the
There
earth,
you go.
because
That's it.
moving from grass to grace, moving from being homeless, we were rendered homeless not by our own choice, but by the choice of other people. Living from having two clothes, one for Sunday for going to church and one to wear around until it's so torn
Yeah.
before I can get another one. Living from one pair of shoes to how many pairs of shoes? What do I need that for?
What you need all those shoes for?
Yes.
Why do you
So
need
we
all
need
those
to,
shoes?
when
And that's
Mr.
the thing.
Ashmofara is talking
Hey,
about this, some of the questions that people ask on these webinars, I begin to see the greed in people. Don't talk about using O Bless to do this, do that. O Bless is going to be my main thing. Your main
no.
thing? No, that's not the way
What
O
is it?
Bless
How are
operates.
you going to educate a child?
Yes.
Because first of all, if I bless you with $5 and you're not educated how to spend the $5, that $5 is going to be squandered.
There you go.
And guess what's going to happen after the $5 is squandered? Oh, Verona. Oh, Sister Yvonne. Oh, Sister Maria. Oh, Sister... You're going to be calling somebody else again.
Yes, yes.
So
And
we're not here for that. We're here to educate you.
education, education,
Education is the
education.
key.
Yes,
Okay?
because President Nelson Mandela said it all. He said, education is the biggest weapon you can use to change
Okay.
the world. It is. Education changed my life. I would have been dead.
Okay.
Education changed my life. Even you, and I know it did for you because you wouldn't be here talking to me
That's
today.
right.
Education changed our life. Education doesn't just mean classroom education.
No.
Education to know that, you know what,
Experience.
I have to, yes, experience. I have to see. I've not seen my neighbor for 1 week. Can I go check to see if my neighbor? That is the real education. Education to know that I'm eating. But if I don't have anybody around me to share with, I am going to pray to God to share it in spirit so that the other people can eat and be full.
Yes.
Education means all those vital things that we are not being taught. And if
Yes.
our parents, if they didn't teach us well, we don't blame them because they are just teaching us what they know, what they were taught. But now that me and you know better, and we've been offered a gift through Mr. Mufare, there's
Yes.
no reason why we cannot do better. And it is education. Coming together like we are coming in Wow Women, coming together like we are coming in your show, questioning everything, because I have to be able to come behind you to see what you did or you wrote down is correct. Not
Yes.
because I want to monitor you for any reason, because we
Right.
want to make sure that we are accountable and we are doing the right thing. You should be able to come after me and say, no, Yvonne talked about this, Yvonne wrote this. Let me go and check. And if you see anything, come and say, oh, sister, I think maybe let's try and write it this way and see if it
Yes.
without me taking any insult or be
Offense.
taking it so personal. You
Yeah.
know, we women need
Listen.
to, without me saying, oh, I have this degree. You think I don't know?
Drop.
We are
Drop.
humans. We
Yes.
need to be able to calm down. That is the way God designed the world, designed us to be. But we are torturing ourselves by putting all those barriers and all those chains and barricades, chains of jealousy, chains of unforgiveness, change of competition, all those negative baggages we carry, they are weighing us down by ourselves. We don't need that. We don't need it.
No.
Because for me, what are you like it, and I'm coming after you? Or what did you do? And I expect you, if you don't come after me, I know that you don't love me. You're not a real sister. You need to come after me. You need to.
Gotta check you. Like, listen. And that's what love is.
Yes.
Love is because when I correct you, when I walk with you, when I said we can improve that, let's you use the word minus and add, when we can subtract and add this. I am not here to take away from you. We are here to work together.
There you go.
We're here
There
to
you
work
go.
together. So when we are working together, is where I'm like, okay, let's add, let's take away.
Yes.
Let's add, let's take away.
There you go.
Let's see how we can rise up.
Mm.
Let's see how we can rise up, because for us to rise up, something got to be taken away and something got to put in, and something got to take away and something got to put in.
Mm.
I
There
am
you
not
go.
coming at you with your tithes, because for me, tithes don't matter. What
Yes.
will you do?
Yes.
What is
And
the impact you're making?
there's a lot of good things to talk about here today. And I'm glad that you are my sister. I am so grateful and I'm thankful to God because we need to be grateful
Yes,
when we come in contact with people like you, people that we never knew that we will come in contact with. But everything happens for a good reason. And I take it very, very seriously.
yes,
And I don't play with what I say, because if I play, I'm playing with my life, I'm playing with the lives of my family, I'm playing with the life of others. I do
yes.
not play with those kind of things. Because thank you so much,
Oh,
Rachel. Thank
welcome,
you for
Matilde. Welcome.
yes. So I do not play because a lot of families are going through a lot because people take them for granted.
Yes,
They're exploited, they're abused, and we see it. We keep quiet. I'm saying this to say that within non-passive, we see that kind of bickering there. We see it among our own, our real own.
yes,
And instead of trying to say no, to call this to order, we support those things. Some you see people they go and bully people even on their webinars. And Mr. Ash Mufaro is seeing this thing. He knows. I know that the black man in the world has been so much beaten down and it goes into their head. They've been shown like they don't matter. And this thing go into our head. In turn, we take it to abuse another black person. And that is not to say there's not abuse in the other cultures. There is. But guess what? We need not to support things that are not okay. Because when we do that, we ourselves, we are going to crash. We think that we are doing it for somebody, but we are doing it to ourselves. We don't need to go there. That
No.
is why when somebody does those kind of things, I would laugh it off because I would just say, oh, this person doesn't know what they're doing. I would laugh it off. I would just go ahead because if I sit and waste my time, I'm wasting the time for myself. So I would just go ahead. So we need to come together more and more because I don't have it all. You don't. I need
Right.
help. I need help from others.
Right.
We all need help. Like I was looking at your stream here. I struggle with this technology a lot because I wasn't born with technology. And I was like, oh my God, she knows. That is one person I'm going to go after.
I learned because it's so funny you said that. You so funny. Let me tell you, I'm gonna tell you this because I've been doing this show before I'm passive. I've been doing
Oh,
this show.
really?
Yes. This is not even I've been on passive, welcome and passive. I've
Yes.
been doing the show long before I'm passive.
That's so wonderful.
So when
Congratulations.
I so when I'm passive came, I was like, oh, okay. I'm just gonna keep on doing what I do, you know. So I'm just gonna keep on learning some more. So it's so funny that you said it because I'm sitting here today and I'm like, gosh, I gotta learn how to do something. And I'm just like, God, wait. And I couldn't figure out how to do my I think the thumbnail for YouTube. I couldn't figure out how to do it. And I sat in front of my computer and all of a sudden it's like a voice just came to me and like, oh, do that. I was like, oh, I was like, thank you, Lord. I said, God, you are such a great teacher. And I said, I'm so grateful that I set myself in a position for God to teach me, for me to teach you.
There you go. There
So
you go.
every Thursday when I show up, I say, okay, what is it that you want me to do? Because I'm going to teach somebody else. So
That
I
is
set
so
myself in
nice.
position, and that is what I want to encourage women. I want to encourage women to set yourself in position. You see, we as mothers, we set ourselves in position to give birth.
Yes.
And that is the same way right now we have to set ourselves in the birthing position.
I really like what you just said because you put yourself in the position to say, God, I need help.
Yes,
We have to say we need help instead
yes,
of putting chips on our shoulder like we know it all when we don't.
yes.
You're talking about this YouTube thing. I'm just laughing because when I started my speaking engagement, I'm telling you, when I started writing, they said, go do this, go do that. I was always the last one there. I would sweat until my head would be aching. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I said, please help me. I don't know what to do. And some of it too is the fear that is generated within me that, oh no, you were not born with this. You can't do it.
Yes.
Sometimes I bother Auntie Lynn a lot because I'm trying to. I say, Auntie Lynn, you say I should click. Are you sure I should click here? Because this thing might go away. I don't want to click this thing because it might break.
And that is the thing. Because you know what happens, Sister Yvonne? We so fear of judgment. We're easy to compare ourselves and we're easy to compete and we fear judgment from others.
Yes.
But you see, sometimes critics is good for you
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes critics will help you grow a little bit more. Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Tell
Yes,
me,
it does. It does. Criticism is very good. I've
critics
learned,
is,
if you can imagine that from little, I've gone all through abuse and criticism and everything. Those things now, because if there is nothing peculiar or spectacular or something great
hey,
about you, people don't care about you. But if people start coming at you, guess what? You have greatness within you, and you
there's
need to
something.
embrace it and take it and say, Lord, thank you. Give me the peace, give me the glory to speak to these people in a respectful
Yes,
and nice way instead of fighting. Because
yes,
if you were just like somebody, nobody cares about you. They won't come after you. So I have learned that lesson throughout my life, such
yes,
that even right now, those dirt is still being thrown at me. But what I do is I take it, I step on top of it, and I rise higher. I don't care about the. I take it all the time. I say, Lord, thank you. Now I always ask people, like my grandmother taught us. My grandmother said, have you're crying that people are throwing the dirt at you, they're talking trash about you.
eh,
Have you ever seen a seed grow on cemented floor?
you better
My
go ahead.
grandmother asked me. My grandmother said, throw a seed there. I'm going to put this seed in that dirt. We're going to put another one here. In about a week, we'll see what happens.
Go ahead.
She did it practically with us
Yeah.
because I was crying all the time. I said,
Look,
why
show
me?
you.
Why do they hate me so much? Grandma, this is not right that they're hating me and I'm just a child. My grandma
Show you.
demonstrated that. I grew up now with that philosophy of dirt, of a seed growing in dirt and a seed growing on the cemented floor. Because it is true, dirt is fertilizer. Dirt is growth. Dirt is everything, rejuvenation. Growth is like springtime where things just start blossoming because
Yes.
that is us. Dirt is fertile grounds. And now when they throw that dirt at me, I catch it, I put it there, step on top of it, and I'm
Hey.
going. I catch it, I put it there. And now sometimes I even long for it because if it stays
Yes,
for some
like
time, I'm
why
like,
you not giving me anything? Why you
yes,
not giving me the
yes.
dirt?
And when I said that, some people thought I'm crazy. I said, no. Why is it that I've not,
What?
I just,
Yes. Why you not
and,
giving me the dirt?
and to tell
Because
you a short story here, I thank God for what happened. In June, I was injured for my job.
yes,
I've been home for almost 10 months now without working, and I actually quit working. During that time, people were telling me you don't belong here. You're supposed to be out there talking to people. You like to inspire people. Why don't you go? You like to write a lot. And I didn't hear that. My son told me a lot of other people has been about 12 years ago. Said, why don't you do this? They keep telling me. But sometimes, you know what God happens? God sends his angel to push you out of a situation. Sometimes you get hurt because if you're not hurt, you will go back to that place. So
yes,
I was hurt and I was undergoing therapy and other things. I couldn't see well, I couldn't walk well, but
yeah.
God ushered me into here. If that didn't happen, I would still be at my job job.
There you go.
Journey of the broke, that job, the meaning, journey of the broke. And I would not have been paying attention to one person. I would not have met a beautiful woman like you, and I would still be there. Sometimes we accept the things that happen. It depends on your mindset. Things don't happen for nothing.
Right.
Sometimes you need to fail, pick up yourself 100 times before you stand. I'm sure before you started this show, you failed a lot of times. And now, look at you
Ooh.
now. Look at you. You're speaking like you've been doing this like Oprah for years. For
Like,
years.
ooh.
Hopefully, Oprah knows that you're there. Even if she
Like,
doesn't know
hello,
you're your
Oprah.
own Oprah.
Excuse me. As a matter of fact, since you mentioned Oprah, I just want to say, Oprah, I've been watching Oprah for home since Oprah started her show. She was the first person I saw on television that I said, ooh, I want to know. I don't want to be like you, Oprah. I just want to know how you got there.
There you go.
I just want to, because I'm seeing you on television. I'm seeing you on the other side. And I was
Yes.
kept saying to myself, I'm like, Oprah, I want to do that, but I just don't want to be you. I just want to know how you get there.
There you go.
I want to know how you get to do that because it's in me to do just that. I'm not trying to be you, Oprah. I'm not trying to be you. But it's in me. It was already embedded in me to do this.
Yes.
I know when I saw her, I said, ooh, there goes a sister. Oh my goodness. Ooh, I like you, Oprah. How can I get over there? How can I get to that side? How can I talk to the people the way you are talking to people? I want to do that.
Yep.
I'm not trying to compete with you. I'm just trying to say, how can I do that the way you are doing it?
Yes.
Can you give our sister a little insight? So she has inspired me all this time. And when I started this show, I started the show over 2 years ago.
Yeah.
When I started the show before COVID, 2019.
Uh-huh.
And I must confess right now, every single Thursday, I used to be so fearful coming on. Every, listen, every Thursday, I'm sweating. I'm trying to, it's like, oh, I'm crying, I'm sweating, I'm praying, and do every single thing on a Thursday. I said, oh, wow, oh my goodness, why? Oh, I can't do this. And every single time I said, I can't do it, God said, you can do all things. I said, okay,
Yeah.
I can't do it. I get on and I'm like, oh, and then someday, I'm telling you, I had some bloopers. I'm like, listen, I had guests on here where they walk away, and I'm like, ah! What am I supposed to do now? What am I supposed to do? So it has been a journey.
But I think that is so wonderful that you went through all of that though.
Yeah.
And my grandmother said everything's my grandmother. My mom was very fearful and she was a young mother, a teenage mother.
Yeah.
My grandmother said, and my grandmother was a very big farmer, and she plants things intense. Because the essence was like she farmed pineapple, she sold a lot of pineapple, sugar cane. She
Mm-hmm.
did that. She taught us to plant things in tens, in seeds of tens,
Mm.
so that um when one or two seeds go bad, you will still have the rest, eight left. And a lot of time when you plant in tens, guess what happens? God multiplies it even more than 20.
There you go.
And so if you come here, I have an acre behind my home here. I love to farm. You're going to see me because that is one of the things that I'm going to educate kids to eat the natural food,
Natural
because
food.
the world is so contaminated with fast food that has been sitting on the shelf for such a long time, canned
Yes.
food that is sickening to the body. And so you're going to see me. So my grandmother taught me that intense. You do things intense, but I fail a lot while doing those things. I fail and then I will cry. I will cry. My grandmother
Yes.
said, no, don't cry. It is like that. I was like that too. Because when somebody listens to you, Verona, they know that you've been doing these things for 10 years or more. I know it's true, because even when you are coordinating the wow women, I say, wow, that lady, I'm going to be like her too. I- I'm going to be like her too, because you do it effortlessly. You do it like it is something that is embedded. You were created with it. You
Yes.
just had to find a way, the best way to do it. And that's why you went through those failures
Yes.
to be where you are. And that
Yes.
is why I've learned from my grandmother to embrace my failures. And I don't care, like you see me, I'm a shame proof. I don't care who laughs at me. I don't care. You know, my mom is like, oh, mom, hey, fix your clothes like this. They're
Hey.
gonna I say, mom, let them think, leave my clothes, let it hang out. I don't care. I'm a human being. And so I have learned those things, and I am so comfortable with myself
Yes, I
that
love it.
nothing somebody does or says that is going to hurt me. So long
Others'
as
opinion
you,
don't matter. Others'
yes,
opinion of
yes,
you will
because
not
what you're
validate
doing
who God
now,
says.
young girls are watching you. I'm sure they're copying. If I am a woman, I am copying you. What about those young girls?
Yes.
What about those young girls? When I watch her, I say, huh, she needs to help me with my YouTube channel. Because that YouTube I created, they say create it when we were doing all this book writing and everything. I didn't know what I was doing.
Yes.
Now, Marty Digamo, Antiline, and others, they said, Yvonne, you need to, because a lot of people are watching me. You need to do it now. They were watching me then. Now it's even the worst. Now I need to go revamp that YouTube channel. But when I saw it on, I said, okay, she's going to be the one to help me.
It took a while. Listen, young ladies out there, because let me put Amina, thank you so much. Amina make the statement. She said, when you're having the feeling about you're a failure, you just take a moment and lift yourself up. You see, and that, Amina, that is excellent, because that same moment when failure is whispering, when faith is saying, uh-huh. Failure is like, nah, and faith is like, uh-huh.
Mhm.
So who will you pick? Faith or
Faith,
failure? And I'm
faith.
like, listen, I'm just gonna go
I
with
begin
faith.
faith. It is so true.
I'm
And
gonna go
people,
with faith.
our young girls need to know, whatever comes out of your mind is what is in your heart.
Yes.
Like you said before, affirmations. I have
Yes.
learned, because my grandmother taught me affirmations without even in our own cultural way, and
Not
that was the
even
best
knowing.
education. My grandmother said, you are beautiful. Say, I am beautiful.
Yes.
I am
My mom used to do that
quintessential.
to me.
I come from royalty. I have royal blood flowing through my veins. I can do everything. I am smart. I was saying all those, sometimes I'll be saying them at my job here. People will be looking at me, what's wrong with her? What's wrong with her? And I'm like, what's wrong with you? I've been
Like,
saying
you're
it.
not saying
You
that.
see,
You need
I
to say
journal
that.
every day. Our young girls need to know that. Journaling. I get up
Yes.
every morning, like now. Be rest assured, you're already going to enter into my books. So when I'm
Yes.
publishing another book in the future, you're already there, Verona. And it is true, because you are already there. After this show, tomorrow morning, you're going to be in there again. So, and these things are so small, and we think this is so powerful and impactful.
Yeah.
They have to be focused. When I do my shows or I speak, I always end it. Stay focused. Stay encouraged, stay empowered, and always believe in endless possibilities. Don't believe in what somebody is telling you. Believe in what is it? What is telling you? What is that still small voice within you that is telling you to do something? Pick something and start doing it, no matter how many times you fail, because the journey of a thousand miles begin with taking one step at a time.
Yes.
If you don't get that penny, $1 million is built upon a penny. That penny is that foundation. You don't get it, you want to get 1 million, it's not going to happen. It's not going
Right.
to happen. These are lessons that our young girls and our boys, our children need to know, and we need to be teaching them, because if they don't know, because the parents didn't do the good job, and maybe the parents didn't do a good job because they didn't know. They didn't know. They were doing out of what they knew.
What they
Because if
knew.
somebody is throwing tantrums and cussing you, don't you think that you're supposed to feel sorry for that person? Because the person does not know any better. That's what
Right.
they know. Because if they know like you, look at you on the show, you're asking me intelligent question, pulling some information out of me that sometimes I'm just wondering, am I really telling the way that it's supposed to be told? Because that is who you are. That's
Yes.
what you have. If you
Yes.
don't have that, you can't give that to anybody. So we have a lot of work to do, educating our young women, telling them that yes, you have. Even if you have one limb, the other limb is not there. God knows why you were created that way. Even
Right.
if your breast is so big, they're telling you it's too big, this and that. God knows why. Even
Exactly.
if you're like me, you have scars all over your body because you
Yes.
were being abused. God knows why. But look at me now. Those
Yes.
scars are turning into stars for the glory of God.
There
If
you go.
only I use it well, using it to help others. So I'm so grateful that you've been doing this show. And just keep anytime that you want me here, I'll be right here.
Listen, audience, you heard it right here. She's coming back. Okay. She's coming back. She just declared it right here on the show. As you are watching, you are listening. She said that she's coming back.
Because we
And I
need to be
love it.
picking one topic, coming here, treat this topic and talk about it. Pick one topic, talk about it. Pick one thing, talk about it. And
Yes.
people should be taking down notes, just like you say.
Yes.
Take down points.
Common, we drop stuff here. We drop golden stuff here. So take your pen, get your pencil, your book, your notepad, whatever it is, and take notes here, because this is why I enjoy Thursday night. And
Yes.
Thursday night, Thursday night, we can prolong the time. Amina is here, so she know that the time got prolonged tonight. Because yes, I welcome Sister Yvonne. Tonight, time got prolonged, but of course, it don't matter to me.
We are talking about important things that empower
So,
families.
time is of the master. I'm just the one that's going with the master. I don't cut off master, because the master is the one that gave me the platform. So I don't cut off. God is time, and time is master. So
There you go.
yeah, figure that out. So
Yes.
I don't say excuse me. No. I just say, all right,
Yes.
whatever you say, that's what I do. So we are going to do some great things out here. I am excited to work with you. I'm excited to work alongside with you. And I just want to point out a few things. Amina said a couple things. Amina, but I have another question to ask Sister Yvonne. But before we do that question, Sister Amina said this. People say, why are you crying? You seem strong. They don't know I'm recharging my battery.
That's a great thing to say. And crying, people don't understand.
Crying is
Crying,
a language.
a lot of times I cry out of joy, out of
Yes,
happiness, because
it's
I
a
think
language.
I think where I've been and where I am today, and I am talking to great women like you. I cry for happiness, joy, because not everybody has that opportunity.
That's
And
right.
crying is an emotional release. It's so important. If you have certain things that are bothering you within you, sometimes when you shed those tears emotionally, you are relieved of all those things. Some of us come from a culture where they say, oh, you're weak if you cry. Suck it up, don't cry. But not knowing that when you suck it up, those things are going to come out in different emotions that would not be healthy for you. So crying is so important to me. I cry when I'm happy. I cry when I'm sad. But crying is very important. And when you cry when you're sad, that is still a good thing, because that
Yes.
is telling you that you're having some difficulties that you need solutions for them.
Yeah, you need to
But that crying
challenge
is for you
that.
to you cry now. It clears your mind to begin to think of what you're going to do in those situations. Either way, it is a good thing. Nobody should ever laugh at somebody crying. I cry a
No.
lot. I'm a cry baby. I cry a lot.
I'm going to confess with you, Sister Yvonne, you're not alone. You're not alone, because I tell them like, ooh, I will cry real fast. So you're not alone, honey. Nope. You're not
Okay.
alone. I stand next to you with that. I said, like, your tears are language. It's a
It
language.
is a language, a
It is
big
a
time,
language.
one of the best languages because the silent whispers is in the tears.
Yes, it's a language.
It is a language and it is sometimes an art. Some people need to be taught instead of bundling up those things, let it
No,
out somehow. Let
because
it out.
let it up because and this is why I don't like the saying where it is said men don't cry. Stop it. Stop it.
Yep.
I mean, we're focusing on women, but men, stop that saying. Retrain yourself and get out of that mindset that you don't cry. If we came from you and we can cry, you can cry too.
Of course.
So why would you not cry?
And they should have that emotional release because a lot of times some of the things that the men do is because
Mhm.
they have stuffed up a lot of
Yeah.
things, stuff it in, bundle it up, and then it explodes. And who is
Yes.
next? The woman.
Yes.
Please, or
You're in
and
my
then you put
way.
your mouth on the woman. That's not good.
Yes.
It's not a
You
good thing.
build up
So
resentment.
and
You build
we
up
shouldn't be
anger.
loving.
Oh,
We should learn not to laugh at the man or
no.
anybody that cries. Crying is okay. Let them cry. Let their nose be running. It's
Yeah.
natural. It's
I love to
natural.
see a man cry. I don't. I think one of the most attractive thing for me to see a man do is to shed that genuine tears.
Yes. There you go. See?
I love it. I love it. I'm like, okay, I'm just in love with you.
There you go.
I,
Because
I
a man that cries is a man that
yes,
feels for another human
yes,
being.
yes.
It's
I
a
am.
man that
Yeah,
knows that, you know what? I shouldn't be treating somebody like this, or I should not project my difficulties onto another person, but I can look for a way to resolve those issues. You know,
yes.
it's a good thing. I the same thing to with women. It's the same thing toward our young women, our young boys. You know, it's the same thing with everybody.
You gotta be.
People should be
Yes,
allowed to cry.
of course, because that's your emotions, and we have to accept our emotions so we can take action. Because when you don't accept your emotion, you can't take the proper action because you are blocking your emotion. And when you acknowledge your emotion, you will know how to handle it.
There you go.
You will know exactly how to handle it. So if you're feeling a sense of anger, you got to acknowledge that you're angry.
Hmm.
Now, why am I angry? How will I not be angry? But if you sit and you ignore that, it stays there and it fester and
Yes.
fester. And what
Yes.
happened? All of a sudden, you have an outburst. All of a
Mhm.
sudden, you have resentment. All of a sudden, things just get so abusive.
Yes, that's true. That is so
So
true because
abusive.
that is so true. Our emotions are there for a reason. All
It's
of us
there.
have those emotions. It's just that if we don't know how to manage them, then it becomes a problem. But if we are trained instead of listening to what society is dictating to us or cultures are dictating to us, if we are trained or we train our children from very young that it's okay to cry, let them cry. Don't say, hey, stop with that
Stop
noise.
the
They always
crying.
stop crying.
Stop the crying.
No, let them
Oh,
cry. You know, I have a son that is so, my son will cry even when my son sees a beautiful butterfly. Oh, mommy, this butterfly is so cute. Oh my God, mommy. And this boy will be crying. And then my mom will, crying for a butterfly. I said, Mom, stop. You know,
I said yes. People, men should cry. That is a lie, right? I tell my boys it's okay to cry and release that chemical. Of course, it's first of all, it's right. Crying detoxes your system. It detoxes your system, and believe me, it's sister even right here start crying right now on this show. Believe me, she's gonna look so glowy
yes.
afterwards. And I'm going to be sitting there crying, like, hold on, let me get my tissue too. And I'm going to be sitting there looking, by tomorrow, I'm like, oh, Sister Yvonne, she's going to look so pretty. And because she just release, she just detox her system.
Yes, yes,
Crying detoxes your system. It builds up a resistance so your immune system gets stronger. Crying is healthy for you.
yes. Do you see what happened on the Wow Women show before last Saturday? When is it? I mean, one of the presenters came and she started to cry. You say, "I'm sorry." No, you're not supposed to be sorry.
No,
Cry
it's
before
not for
you
your
start
tears.
presenting. It's okay. We
Do
have
not
to
be
give
sorry. Do not apologize
time
for
when
that.
that comes. We respect those emotions and we cry. Me,
Yes.
I cry sometimes because my grandmother, I don't know, my grandmother predicted when I was going through all those difficulties as a child. My grandmother said, when I die, I don't want you to live in this village because of the way God created you. The culture will not let you do what you need
Yes.
to do. So you go abroad, go somewhere. And since you like to go to school a lot, further your education. And my grandmother said, she said, you know, you can cry, you can do whatever you can because that is what is going to help you. Don't let nobody stop you from doing what you need to do. And I cry all day, even at the job. When I start crying, they'll be running around. Oh no, who did that to Yvonne?
What happened? What happened?
What happened? What happened? So crying is a good thing. My grandmother said, you know, they have lined your path. God has lined, not me, but God has lined your path in life through me and through your mother and through
Yes.
this village. You're going to have everything is going to be good for you.
Yes.
And so that you can go around the world and come back to this village and empower others.
Yes.
Your path has been lined up by God. And I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it every day,
There
Verona.
you go.
I have been sent to school. People chose me from Europe and paid for me to go to
There
school
you go.
for no reason. Now I'm going to graduate on Saturday. Just so you know, I will not be present on Saturday because I will
I don't
be
think we have a
graduating.
decision Saturday anyway
Oh,
because
that's
it's
good.
Ramadan. Yes.
So yes, so you know that. So my grandmother, and I'm seeing it. I'm seeing those days, those predicaments that my grandma. Look at you. Look at Ashman Farrow, Milo. Milo show invited me. A lot of people. I'm learning from masters. I'm learning from kings and queens that I never knew. Those are the people. We might not see it because we are so used to trying to always think about the negative. But if you change your mindset and start thinking about the positive, if
Yes.
something negative comes around, replace it immediately. Replace it right away with the positive, and things will happen for you. So it's so powerful that we are. This is the wealth. What are we talking about? This is wealth right here, right now that we are talking about. So it's beautiful. It's a beautiful experience.
Amina says, whenever I cry, I get solution for my problems. It is my back door. Crying is not a weakness. Crying is strength. That's right, Sister Amina. Crying is
It
strength.
is.
Yes, crying is strength. So cry if you want to. Hey, call a sister. And that is the whole point. This is another reason for this month, International Women's Month. Cry a sister if you need somebody to cry on their shoulder. Call up a sister. Let it out. Let it out. Cry it out. Call a sister around the world. You got global
Mhm.
sister. Call a sister up like, oh, can I just talk to you? Yes, you can. Yes,
Yes,
you can.
yes,
Yes, you
yes.
can.
And I was going to say that we all have different gifts, and some of our gifts they coincide because we have more than one, more than two gifts.
Yes.
I urge all the women in the world,
Yes.
including young girls, we need to start teaching our children plus boys to become entrepreneurs at a
Yes.
very young age, how to invest. I started investment at a very young age, investing, rearing chickens and selling, doing other things that I was taught according to your environment and according to your means. So we, the women in the world, let us pull out those gifts and try to begin to establish whether it is a show, whether it is a store, whether it is whatever, whether it is a restaurant, let us establish something, because when we do that, we're going to be doing those things virtually like we're doing now. Now
Yes.
we are in your show. If there was another show for another one, say, okay, I'll carry my audience. I said, let's go to Sister Verona's show. Let's go to this person thing. We all support one another
Yes.
and make it so humongous that nothing can ever make it break. Martin Luther King said, I have seen it. I may not be able to reach there by myself, but together we can reach the mountaintop.
There you go.
And we can really do this. I'm telling, and I believe, and sometimes I used to say, you know what, because I've tried to organize movements for women to come together.
Yes.
And each time we come together, they're fighting. I just said, no, it's okay. I move on. I did it again 4 times. It's okay. Now again, on passive, I'm doing it. I'm not going to give up until I win. And I'm
No.
winning already. So,
You're born a
we
winner.
need to form organizations, and it's not a day's job, it's not a year's job. You keep doing it. Do you know how sometimes I go and sit and cry because I couldn't figure out a chapter? My head is aching. I just say, I'm not going to do this anymore. Then I go
You
pick it
can't
up
give
again.
up.
I,
Because
I
first of
pick it
all,
up again. I start
yep,
again. And I did it now because even if I've published 4 books, still I still have to keep learning because times change, technology is changing,
that's the whole
everything is
point.
changing. We have to move with the times. So nobody should ever give up. Let's do things together. Let's do things. We launch groups, we do things so that we know that every woman has something. We remember we are the creators of the home, the
Yes.
society. We are the touch bearers of all society. We might be behind the scene, but we are there without the woman. Do you ever hear people saying, Papa, 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 Mama, all the time? Even the big men, they say, my mother. Ash Mufara says it. Everybody is saying, my mother. Because that is how important a woman is. That is
Yes.
how important we need to celebrate the woman. Even after this month is special. The Women's Day is special, but throughout our journey in life, we celebrate the woman.
All
The
the
woman.
time.
Yes.
And that's going to take me, because that's going to take me to my final question to you. That's going to take me exactly to the final question. But before I do that, I want to spotlight. Amina said something here. It is a good thing. It's good to have crying corners in your city. Go there and cry. Have a coffee and lift that weight off your shoulder. That's right. That's right. And then she mentioned something else again. In Japan, she heard that they have crying restaurants.
Oh,
You
that's
like the
good.
idea? She's gonna build one in Somalia.
That's good. I mean,
Crying restaurant.
that's
Hey,
good. I'm proud of you.
go ahead, Amina.
Invite
You
me
just
there. I'll be
call us when you're ready.
your first guest. I'll be your first customer.
Yeah,
Invite me there.
call us when you're ready. Look, one of us right here. Call us when you're ready, sis. Just call us when you're ready. We come on over. We come on right over there. Yes. Because we need that. We need that space. We need that
Mhm.
space. So that's going to take me to my final question to your sister Yvonne. You are four times Amazon bestseller.
Thank you. Thank you.
And those books were written, those were collaborations.
Yes.
Were there collaboration with just women?
Women.
With
Women.
women.
Yes.
All right, excellent, because this is perfect. Now you did a collaboration with women.
Yes.
Tell us 1 or 2 lessons that you learn working with those women in either, you got 4 books, so either one of them, just tell us a lesson that you learned in writing those books. That's one part of the question. And okay, I asked the other question. Let's go ahead with that one.
Okay. I will pick the very first book that we launched because I take that first one because I was so proud. Because all through my life, beginning from Cameroon, I had talked about writing books and publishing them, but I did not know how. And even so, I didn't have the resources then. But moving over to the United States, and I realized that I can actually talk about my story, my unique story, in order to help change the lives of others. Before, I was kind of uh, uh, pulled back not to tell my story. I'm like, this story is so ugly. I don't think people are going to. No, they said it actually is the most powerful story, and my story is the most powerful story in all the books because that is the story that is going to change the life of students, so of children. So the first one was Stormborn. Stormborn, if you the God works in miraculous ways. I was just on Facebook doing my thing, educating youths, and I didn't know that this publishing house, the Media House of Sovereignty in Spain, was watching me for more than 6 months.
Hey.
They wrote to me. They said, Yvonne, where have you been? We have been looking for powerful women with powerful stories like you. Where have you been?
Yeah.
We've been following you online for 6 months. I said, whoa. So they've been stalking me. I didn't know. So he said, can you be in our books? I say, sure, I can, but I don't have the money right now to pay. They said, no, you will come there free of charge. We need you in our book. That's how come I started. And Stormborn, it's about women who have gone through some challenges in life, and because they are still breathing, they came together to tell their stories in order to educate the public with a focus on the woman. So, Stormborn, in essence, means though you went through all those storms, you were born out of your storms. And I was born out of my storms. If I was still in that village, maybe I would have been gone, long gone, or I would
Yes.
not be able to share my story with the world. But I was born out of my storms, out of my difficulties. So that is the first one. So we learned that women can come together and put their resources together to empower other women and to empower the entire world and even our children. So that was the biggest lesson that we learned from there, that it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what language you speak, you
Yes.
can still write. You can still write. And I was the one in the whole of that group who was the least educated with the IT or social media. I would be asking questions, I'd be so nosy, and I'll be running after people, do they do this? But guess what? They supported me, they held my hand, and they helped me all the way through. That is very important. And then the other one was Women of the Power Voice. And I graduated from during the heart of the pandemic. I attended the Lesbian Power Voice Academy for 1 year, and I graduated. And Mr. Brown has helped us a lot on how to present yourself on stage, on
Yes.
how to speak. And women of the Power Voice are still women who came together, still to pull their stories, because every living experience in life comes out of stories, out of lives of people, you know. So we came together, and in order to also respect Mr. Brown, Mr. Brown has said, I will empower my students, particularly women. He was talking from a point where he had done certain things to women and he admitted it that were not good. They were not healthy for the woman. And so he said, please, I'm doing this mostly for the women because I've done things, but I thank God that He has forgiven me. I did things to women that I was not supposed to be doing. And so we came together. We want to just speak to inspire, to educate, and to let women know that you can be anything that you want to be. The only person that will build walls around you is you and nobody else. The only person that will build those barriers around you is only you and nobody else. If you put your heart to something, you put your mind there, you can do it.
Yes.
And nobody can stop you. And I've seen that with my life, because the way this man shaped my story, I was talking and crying and even being so angry why my father did that. I was brought to the point where I saw that as a gift from my father, because if that didn't happen to me, I'm sure I would not be here today with you. I'm sure I would not be speaking in the world on stages that I never knew that I would be on those stages.
There you go.
So we learn a lot of lessons. Any disadvantage comes with an equal advantage.
Advantage.
Every disadvantage comes with something so advantageous. We should never overlook into those things. Let us just wake up with wonder every day and look at that which is ahead of us, and it will come. When I step my foot up from bed, I just say, God, I look with wonder at the beautiful things, the abundance that is coming. And they come. I open the social media, I see this. I see, oh my God, this is happening. Then what excuse do I have to give
Yes.
for not educating and empowering our children? What excuse? And others that don't have, what excuse? I don't, you and I don't have that excuse. Look at you glowing. Look at your dress. Look at your hair. Look at your earrings. And you
Yes.
even wear it in a style. One is different, the other one. Who cannot? See, beautiful too. So we have a lot. Like I said before, to him or her that much has been given,
Was
much
it
more
required?
is required. We
Absolutely.
need to do that. And time waits for no one, because tomorrow, we don't know. Tomorrow is not promised us. And we need to do it now. Let's live every day to the best of our ability and our capacity, so that if we do exit the stage of life, we will know that we robbed the cemetery. We gave everything out. We empty out ourselves. So
Excellent.
those are the two lessons that I learned. A lot of great lessons, but those are the
Oh,
two. And
yes.
this is what we are talking here. Very beautiful. You can do it so long as you have the breath in you. Pull, tip deep down in your soul. What is it that keeps probing you to do something and you're not doing it? Pick it and start writing. I'm here. I can direct you on how to write those stories down. Because I'm going to be teaching on speaking and teaching on writing. I created a club on OwnNet already. Speaking
Yeah.
club, writing club, you know, we need to do those things. So we go here, we support this club, we go here, we support because we're going to be billionaires. Why not? If somebody is a billionaire, it's not our fault that we were born poor. You know, it's not our fault that we were born poor, but it's our fault that we die
You
poor.
die poor.
I'm not going to die poor
I know. No,
because
ma'am.
we've been given that opportunity not to do that.
No, ma'am. Excellent. And those are excellent lessons. And I like this one. Take your disadvantage and know that there's some form of advantage in them.
Mhm.
And so, with that said, are you planning to write your own solo book? Because
I
those
already
are,
wrote it. I wrote it.
when is it launching?
Um, I don't. I would have launched it, but I got my accident. But then On Passive came along so strong, and now I can go and edit it again and do it. And On Passive will be launching it for us because you pay
This
money a
one
lot.
more drink.
You pay a lot of money though because my story is in there and the lessons that and the mantle, everything is in there.
If I discover, I'm celebrating you right now. That's that.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. You are my soul sister. Thank you. No, it's
That's
coming.
it.
It's already
Cheers.
here. I have everything written. I will just go out there and add certain things because what my grandmother said, this is what is happening. I need to add you guys in there. There's no way that I cannot put you guys in that book.
Okay. So guess what's going to happen when that book is finished and
Mhm.
that book is ready and that book is getting ready to just launch out? We will have a launch party, and then you're going to come back.
Yes, of course.
Yes, because
Yeah.
we're going to talk about the upcoming book. Um, if I'm not mistaken, I don't want to tell what it's called, but a birdie whispered
No,
to
I'm not
me.
gonna say the title.
But we're not going to say nothing about it. The books that because Amina want to know the links to the other books, and the other books are called "Hear Her Roar," "Stormborn," and "Women of the Power Voice."
Yes, I sell those books. Some people order, I use Zelle. I have them right here stock at home. When they finish, I buy some. The only one that I have now, no, two. I have the Women of the Power Voice and I have Hear Her Roar. And guess what? Um, a fruit does not fall far away from the tree, from its
Oh,
tree. My son, because we started educating him in my stomach, now he is empowering children. He's a founder too.
oh,
Yes, but I'm managing his account for him because he's in school. He
right.
wrote a very beautiful children book that people are buying to use for homeschooling. Some are buying for their schools. It is a book with this boy draws very beautiful graphics, and then he gave the book to Amazon to edit. Amazon said, "What are we editing here?
Hey,
Nothing, nothing. You did even better than us. Graphics that are attractive to the eyes of children to want to make them to read. When a child holds that book, they don't want to put it down. So his book is there, and he's Amazon #1 best-selling author too. So
well, there we go.
the way I taught him, he's writing the second one now. So
Oh,
when we
I'm trying
start
to
those
put my
stuff,
glass, but just keep on giving me reason to hold up my glass.
and then you're gonna see, I will go to OwnNet and put some of the pictures of the books, Hear Her Raw and put Women of the Power Voice. I have those in stock, and the other ones people can go to Amazon and check them out on Amazon.
All right, so Amina, we're going to get the link sent to you. Don't you worry, we're going to get the link sent to you. So it has been a wonderful session here tonight. I was trying to put my glass down, but I can't put my glass down because I want to keep on celebrating you. I want
Thank
to keep
you.
on celebrating you for your journey. I want to keep on celebrating you for what you have done.
Yes,
I want to keep on celebrating you for your space,
there you
space that
go.
you're holding, the space that you're creating, your courage, your strength. So I'm
Yes,
trying to put my glass on, but I'm not going to put my glass on because it just pays to just celebrate another sister. It pays to raise the glass to another sister. You deserve it. Nothing is a privilege. Everything is a earned position, and everything is a reward. If you
Yes.
plant something, you're going to earn it.
There
You're,
you go.
if you plant something, you're going to reap the benefit. You are going to get the reward. So
Yes.
there's no privilege. You are not privileged. Nothing is handed down to you. You have planted and now you are reaping. God has preserved you for such a time as this. And because He has preserved me for such a time as this, I am so humble and I'm
Thank
so
you.
grateful to have met
Thank you.
you, to call you my sister, my global sister around the world. I dreamt of having my global family, and I am going to say that Unpassive, thank you. Unpassive came about. And for those who don't know about Unpassive, you will see it. Unpassive is the new internet that
Yes.
I've met my new sister over there, along with Amina is my sister, Yasmin is my sister, Ifra is my sister, Rika, Nira, Miriam, a lot of sisters that I've met around the world. I have met you around the world because of this one company that is coming, Rachel G. Thank you so much for coming in. I have met my family, my global family. And of course, I have my local family, Georgia, Sharon. You know, I have my local family, but Unpassive is the spot that allow the door to open for me to
Yes.
find my
Yes.
global family. So now I can celebrate International Women's Month in a different light from my normal celebration where I only pick one country or one family. Now I can celebrate internationally because internationally is an expansion of your family. It's an
Yes.
expansion of the women around the world. I am so grateful. I am so thankful. This has been such a pleasure. This has been such a pleasure. And of course, audience, you heard that she's coming back. I'm
Oh,
not going to tell you when she's coming back, but she's going to come back. It might be next week. I don't know. But that was just a whisper. I don't know. I might tell you when she's going to come back. You will see when she's coming back, but she's coming back because you already said that she's coming back. Congratulations on all that you have done. Congratulations on the path that is in front of you. And as we close tonight's session, I just want to ask you just one more thing to speak directly to that your 11-year-old self and to a girl right now who is 11. As we close out this session, I want you to give that message to your 11-year-old self as well as that girl right now who will see this, whether tonight or tomorrow, that will hear your voice. Give that message. Thank you.
thank you so much. Thank you. That this is so wonderful. You give me this opportunity like this. Oh my God. I want to tell that 11-year-old, even that 12-year-old, even that young woman out there that when you are given the breath of life, if you still have breath within you to breathe, know that you can do anything if you put your mind to it, that it is possible. What is possible for one person can be possible for you. Focus on your inner self and put everything in the hands of Almighty God. God first before anything. Look within you, ask questions, and take everything that is being done to you, turn it around in a positive light, and continue to move forward. You are not in competition with anybody but yourself. And I know you can do it. What was possible for me when I didn't have any way out can be possible for you and even better, because I'm sharing this story so that you know that you have somewhere to go when you are facing those hard times. We are here for you. We love you. You're beautiful. You can do wonders. Thank you so much. Mute.
I have nothing else to say. Our dear sister, I've said it all. She's a goddess. She's a queen sister. She's my sister. She's your sister. She have said it all. There's nothing I could tap onto that. All I got to do is just raise my glass to her.
Thank you.
And I just want to say thank you all for tuning in to this live session. Again, if you are watching and you see live, simply mean you are in the live audience. If you are watching us again and you don't see live, simply mean you are watching the replay. I hope you learned a thing or two tonight. I hope we're able to inspire you somewhere to move a little bit further than where you are today. My aim when I come on the show every single Thursday is to inspire you. My aim when I come here every Thursday is for you to know that together we can grow, we can create, we can build. But most of all, the main reason is for you to know that we can support each other.
Yes.
The more we support each other is the more we will grow. The more we will grow is the better the earth will be. I am so grateful every time you show up because I oftentimes says when you show up, you are not showing up for yourself, you are showing up for your family, your community, and generations to come. Look out for us. Look out for Sister Yvonne for all the work that she's doing. And of course, look out for me. I'm always here. We are going to be on a new platform coming up very, very, very soon on Passive. We are going to be on a new platform called O Connect. We are going to be on a new platform very soon. We are going to relocate. So when you don't see us, we are not gone because we are unstoppable at this point. You are going to see us. So I want to thank you so much, each and every one of you, Georgia, Amina, Yasmin, and all your beautiful women out there. I want to thank you all so much. Sharon, I want to thank you. Ritu G from India who have tuned in. I want to thank you so much. Ifra from Canada, Arthur Lomac. Let's see who else we have here in Bridget. Thank you so much, Marianne, coming in from the UK as well. And I just want to say thank you all so much for tuning in to this live episode of the Question Live Show. Of course, I am your host, Verona Willis-Brown, and I hope to see you next week, same time, same place. I might whisper, we might have a guest, but I won't say. You have to be here to know for yourself. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight. We are going to be saying thank you and bye.
We love you all.
We love you. We stand in support of you. We are here to support you. Thank you so much for tuning in.
You. Bye-bye.
Bye.